So we'll be starting with the session. I hope I'm audible to you all.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so today we have Rishika Gupta with us, and she'll be there with us to answer our questions, and like we can have a conversation together with her. So to begin with, Rishika Gupta, we all know that she is currently a software engineer at LinkedIn, and she has also been a product intern at Adobe. Apart from that, she was a part of the Google SPS program, an associate developer at Census Labs, and an educator at an academy. So apart from all of these, I'd like to add on something that she's really good at her presentation skills and her public speaking skills as well. She is like just doing good, and she's really active in mentoring and judging the hackathons as well. So I'd like to welcome you, Rishika Gupta to our today's session.
Thank you so much, Mike, for the warm welcome and introduction. And first of all, thank you all for to be present here today. And I hope I will be able to answer all your doubts and queries regarding interview preparation or in general, what to do in college.
Yeah, sure, Dee. So to begin with, why don't you highlight over your story, like your college life story, to begin with?
Okay, so half of my college was before COVID times, and half of my college went into COVID. So I experienced both offline and online world. Uh, Starting with the offline world, so when I joined college, so I was a PCMB student before that. So basically, I had bio and maths in my 11th and 12th, which means that I was completely unaware about any programming language when I joined my college. So when I joined there, I was completely confused what to do and whom to listen to, what are the platforms to practice these codings, first programming language, how to go about development or DSA or competitive programming, the basic doubts that we all have, and the buzzwords. Or the buzz discussions, I should say. So yeah, all these questions were there in my mind as well when I joined the college. But the approach that I did was to explore all the paths by myself instead of listening to any advice. So I first started coding on CodeChef, which is like very different from the preferred way, because CodeChef was like is now even a competitive programming platform. So people usually start with the basic DSS stuff on platforms like LeetCode or Geek for Geeks. But as I was unaware about the difference between DSA and competitive programming, so I directly went into CodeChef. And after that, when I started participating in context, I really used to enjoy them, not because of the plus on the ranks or the score that I was getting, but because of that, adrenaline rush of solving problems in the given time. So that was something really used to enjoy a lot. And since the beginning, I used to participate in a lot of competitions because of the same reason, irrespective of whether it's a coding competition or it's a hackathon or even sometimes ideathons as well, where you don't have to code, you don't have to put a lot of thinking in the implementation of your solution, but you just have to think out of the box of how you can solve a particular problem, or just identify a problem and then build a solution or propose your idea about it. So I was very interested in that. I think that is because of the competitive nature that I have, and I still have it, and that is the reason I am so much involved in hackathons even now. So yeah, that's how the journey started. And once you start, I think the starting point is the most difficult thing to start with. Like, you don't know where to start with, and once you start, you always know things that went well, the things that you should do or you should not do in your future. So similar things happened with me. After CodeChef, I realized that okay, this is something different from what companies usually ask. So after that, I switched to LeetCode just for the interview preparation. And yeah, within 1 week, within 1 month, I was interview Like you can say I was very well prepared for the interviews. I solved almost all the standard problems and everything because I already developed my logical skills with the help of competitive programming. So I did not face like a lot of difficulties in the on campus or off campus interviews because of the same reason. And also at the same time, I had some financial crisis in my family, so I had to pay my college fees as well. So while doing or while practicing all these stuff, I also have to make sure that I'm earning so that I can pay my college fee. For that, since the first year, at that time, as I mentioned already, I didn't have any coding skills. So at that time, I worked as an educator with an academy, and I used to teach normal JE or JE advanced physics, chemistry, or mathematics. And by that, I managed my first year college fee. And once that was done, because I was practicing coding parallelly, I was able to get another internship as an educator in one of the NGO, you can say One Step Forward Foundation, as a fellow, where my job was to teach coding or basic STEM education to young generation from the class 6 to 12th. So yeah, that was the second internship. That was again as an educator, and it also really helped me to improve on my communication skills, because you have to teach like students, literally students who are not at all aware about these stuffs. So you have to teach them from the very basics. You have to understand that they are very new to this world, so you have to make sure that you are not using any kind of jargon, or at the same time you're also motivating them to keep this learning process, right? So after doing that, yeah, I started gaining some experience in the development side as well. I started with web development, something related to machine learning as well. I integrated different courses together to make like very good projects, which I was able to present in hackathons as well. And with the help of this, in by the third year or even before that, like the fourth semester itself, which is second year, I was able to crack internships and development only in startups. So that's how the journey started, from me being an educator to a software engineer in different startups. And of course, then after that, the usual process of MNC's interviews, because I already had an experience of development and DSA. So I was able to crack like a lot of interviews. I cracked the interview of Google, Atlassian, Adobe, LinkedIn, of course, and there are a few other companies as well. So yeah, that's a brief journey.
Yeah, it has been an incredible journey. I can make out that very easily. Okay, so apart from your journey, I'd like to ask one thing: ki, like, how do you balance your technical work with your involvement in being with hackathons and stuff?
So are you asking from now point of view, or how I manage it in the college itself?
Maybe if you begin from the college, then it will be much better.
Okay. So see, um, hackathons are usually designed that ideally you should not spend a lot of time before hackathon, right? Uh, so if we are talking about offline world before COVID, so there were usually hackathons which are maybe 2 day hackathon or overnight hackathon, 24-hour hackathon, like that. So usually all the work that you are doing is in the hackathon itself. You just have to maybe create your team or think about the idea, or maybe little bit about the solution, but the main implementation you have to do in the hackathon itself. Or you can maybe reuse your previous written some part of that code and reuse it, or re-implement it in the hackathon itself. So most of the work that you are doing is already, like, you are spending enough time in the hackathon only. So before that you don't need a lot of time brushing upon that. So I used to invest the time apart from hackathon in, you can say, in a lot of networking events, where I used to know about these events or hackathons or different kind of sessions as well. So what used to happen that let's say I'm in my college. First of all, I I should not say this, but I used to avoid classes. I used to just attend the classes so that I can keep up with my 70% of attendance. And even in that 70%, I was a backbencher. So I used to practice DSA on my phone, sitting at the last bench. So that's how I used to practice DSA. And once the college is done, I used to attend these sessions, which were mostly offline at that time. So in my college itself, there were some sessions, or even outside college, I used to attend half of the college and then go to the session. And once I'm aware about that, whether if there's some good hackathon going on where I can participate, I used to take full off from the college and used to participate in that. And the and I would say I was fortunate enough to get a good group in my college itself who had same plans. Like, we all used to practice DSA together. We all used to participate in hackathons together. We had a really good team of which was like very much balanced. Like, I used to handle the back end, then my friend used to handle the front end part. There was one friend who used to handle the machine learning part. We used to work together to integrate all those components together. So yeah, a good group definitely helps a lot. And that's how I used to manage in classes, back sitting on the back bench and practicing DSA, and after the class work on the development.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds really nice.
सो जैसे कि आपने बताया कि हैकेथॉन्स आप अभी भी काफी ज्यादा एक्टिवली अप्रोच करते हैं, तो इससे मतलब जैसे आप जो कॉलेज में थे, एंड हाउ डिड दिस contribute to your like professional career, your professional journey, or is it like beneficial for students who are aspiring to be developers
Definitely.
to
So if
participate in hackathons?
I want to share one really interesting story about my job at Linden. So I got two job offers from Linden for the same position, but from different paths. One was the definitely on campus hiring. So Linden came to our campus for the very first time, and I got selected at Linden as a software intern. So Linden usually don't hire freshers as full-time employees. They convert interns into full-time employees. So they came to our campus for the internship offer. So in the third year of obviously. So yeah, I set for the placement and I got the offer. And after that, they conducted a national level hackathon, which is known as Winterthon. So the prize of that hackathon is the complete winning team will directly get a chance to work with Linden as software development intern, and our team won the prize. So when I told them that okay, ठीक है, जीत तो गए हम ये, but आपका prize is not that beneficial for me because I already have an offer from you. So yeah, that's the brief about me, that how I ended up with Linden. It's not just the on-campus placement, but I also got the offer from their hackathon as well. So definitely hackathons are very, very beneficial. First of all, it adds to your resume in the sense that you have built some interesting projects apart from some of the projects which I see, like library management system or some game which you can copy from net easily, right? So in hackathons you don't get such kind of projects. You build something really different and which cannot be found very easily on the net. So that's how it definitely enhance your resume. And the second thing is this job opportunity. I have seen a lot of companies are now pushing towards this hackathon related hiring, where they see that how a particular team is performing, and if they're performing good or if they have submitted a good solution, they directly give the offer. So in that sense as well, it's not just about brushing up your development skills, but also there are a lot of opportunities, job opportunities as well in the hackathons. And because of the same reason, I'm like quite active in the student community in terms of hackathon, and in my company as well. I am very active as a participant. So till now, I think I have participated in more than 7 to 8 hackathons organized by LinkedIn, internal hackathons. So yeah.
Okay, that's really nice. बाकी एक बात बताओ, I wanted to ask कि मान लो you are already like you are there in a hackathon and you are mentoring the hackathon. So how do you approach with the mentoring process? Like how do you you ask them about their idea या कैसे आपका mentoring का process क्या है?
देखो, सबसे पहले तो you ask definitely you as the idea and the inspiration, the solution that you are thinking, what is the inspiration, and basic things, what is the target audience, what is the size of the target audience, how you came up with that idea, and why this particular problem statement you want to solve. These are the basic like questions जो start करते ही आपको पूछने चाहिए कि why even you are solving this. After you know the why, you come to the how part. Now how you are solving it, which tech stack you are using, why you are using this particular tech stack, who is handling the different components of the project, like the role and responsibility of the complete project, how it is distributed, then how you are going to present it, because in hackathons presentation is also very important. Like implementation is definitely important, but how you are presenting your idea is also important. So like after covering the why part, then the how part, and then like in the how part I feel most of the action items are in the how part only, because why students are mostly aware about why they are solving a particular problem. They usually have some story or some personal experience that I face this problem and I see that we can improve here, that is why we want to solve for this particular problem statement, but they don't know how to solve it. Like there can be multiple solutions to solve a particular problem, right? There will be n number of solutions, but you have to choose the most optimal one, where you are not spending a lot of time in the implementation but still you are able to solve it. So one example is, in one of the hackathon, the problem statement was on nature, so save environment was the theme. And there the basic idea was, instead of taking attendance on paper, which no one takes care of, or no one even even see that paper again. Once attendance is done, teachers also don't care about where that paper is. So they estimated a round off of how many trees in one particular year is like used to create the amount of paper that we are using in India for attendance. And the idea was to replace this attendance system from paper based to QR code or some application where the you just have to scan that QR code, or maybe some facial recognition. There were multiple ideas on that. So the attendance will be done automatically without any paperwork. Now the idea is so simple that, but the impact is so huge, right? So there were multiple solution to that. One was, as I mentioned, just a QR code, which was like very simple to implement and easy to adopt. So these are a few of the things that I generally ask, that okay, you are creating this solution, but what is the cost you have to invest to build this into an actual product, and what do you think your target customer, will they be able to adopt this solution or not? If not, why not, and how you can improve on it. So yeah, in the how part, there are a lot of improvements in the mentoring session.
ओके सो दी एक क्वेश्चन था कि जैसे आपका सबसे ज्यादा मेमोरेबल एक्सपीरियंस किसी हैकेथॉन में, चाहे मेंटरिंग के लिए हो या चाहे एज अ स्टूडेंट हो, अगर आप वो शेयर करना चाहें.
सबसे ज्यादा मेमोरेबल था, देयर वाज वन हैकाथॉन. इट वाज फॉर स्कूल स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम 10 to 12th. So I was not expecting a lot of like good ideas, because they all were new to programming, and the main aim of that hackathon was to start this programming culture in schools, right? So the audience that we have, or participant rather, the participants that we had, they had zero experience in programming, and they started writing their first code in HTML or CSS or JavaScript in the hackathon itself. Like there were mentor sessions or introductory sessions on these programming languages in the start of the hackathon, and it was a 24-hour hackathon, which is to I think 30 or 36-hour hackathon. But the start of the event was these sessions, and by the end of these hackathons, all these students actually created websites and products by themselves, by taking reference from Google or other things, and definitely mentors also helped them. So that was like the most memorable experience for me, because they were like literally they had no clue how to cheat, how to copy a code from net, and how to run it, but still they wrote every single line of the code by themselves, and they created website by themselves. So I was really happy by the end of the hackathon.
That's nice. और एक बात बताओ, मान लो आजकल काफी स्टूडेंट्स दे आर रियली कंफ्यूज्ड कि वो डीएसए किस बेसिस पे करें. कुछ क्या करते हैं इनिशियली, वो डीएसए करने लग जाते हैं फॉर द जॉब इटसेल्फ कि उनको प्लेसमेंट चाहिए डायरेक्ट, एंड फ्यू आर कि यार हमें हैकाथॉन्स में भी जाना है, जैसे आपने बताया कि वो जरूरी है, सब कुछ जरूरी है, बट दे स्टार्ट विद डीएसए. तो यू थिंक कि डीएसए कहीं ना कहीं हैकाथॉन्स में हेल्प करता है, या वेब डेवलपमेंट पे उनको ज्यादा फोकस करना चाहिए टू बिगिन विद?
I think you have to balance both. देखो, डीएसए का डायरेक्ट यूसेज तो आपको नहीं मिलेगा इंडस्ट्री में, और देयर विल बी वेरी लेस यूसेज इन इंडस्ट्री एज वेल, और इन डेवलपमेंट इन जनरल. लाइक I have used dynamic programming only once or twice in my projects, and once or twice भी काफी ज्यादा है. मोस्टली आपको एक और दो बार भी ट्राई करने को नहीं मिलेगा चीजें. But the thing is, DSA helps to improve your logical skills. They are not directly helping you, but the projects that you will be, delivering as a full-time employee in any company, there will be corner cases. There will be huge code base जो आपको पूरा समझना पड़ेगा. You have to understand it, every if else condition. You have to create a mind map in your mind कि अच्छा यहाँ से करके ये चीज handle हो रही है, ये चीज handle हो रही है, and you have to understand all the corner cases. So in that sense, अगर आप सिर्फ development करोगे ना, your logical skills will not improve as much as compared to how it can improve if you are solving DSA or competitive programming. Like I prefer competitive programming because that is like a higher level of TSA. So if you are able to achieve something in competitive programming, DSA आपको like ऐसा लगेगा ये तो बच्चों वाले questions दे दिए मुझे. So I would say balance the two. एक चीज से नहीं होगा. If you are thinking only DSA will give you a job, no, it will not. Because in interviews after DSA, there will be questions on your resume, there will be questions on your projects, or hackathon participations, where the interviewer will see how much you have done in development area. But before development, there will be DSA round of like in most of the companies. If you are not targeting early stage startups, in most of the companies there will be a DSA round. So let's not fight over what to do and what not to do, because you have to do both. So please don't listen to such arguments कि DSA करें या development करें. But there is a clear roadmap. What you can do is DSA को, if you are giving 100% of your time to DSA, more than 1 month is not required. 1 month में आपके सारे DSA कवर हो जाएंगे, सारे डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स कवर हो जाएंगे, सारे स्टैंडर्ड एल्गोरिथम्स कवर हो जाएंगे. एंड इफ यू हैव डन इनफ ऑफ प्रैक्टिस, सो आई यूज्ड टू कीप अ टारगेट कि मुझे एक दिन में 10 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने हैं, राइट? सो आई ऑलरेडी हैड अ लिस्ट ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चंस जो आपको कहीं पे मिल जाएगा, इवन ऑन लीड कोड, नीट कोड और गीक फॉर गीक्स और हैकर रैंक, कहीं पे भी आपको स्टैंडर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स का पूरा सेट मिल जाएगा. Start taking a target that you have to solve 10 questions per day or 5 questions per day based on your pace. Once you are good with that, you can start doing development in parallel. You can say ठीक है, अब मेरा development का enough practice हो गया है. What I can do is just to keep up with the this streak, you can say, just to keep up with that streak, I'm now doing, instead of 10, I will now start solving 5 questions a day, and the other time, the time that is left with me, I will invest in development. So that's how you can balance कि आपकी streak नहीं टूटनी चाहिए, because once you stop doing DSA ना, after few weeks you will realize कि algorithms अब उतना catchy नहीं है, like you are not able to solve it as quick as you were able to solve it maybe a month ago. एंड ये बहुत बार होता है, ये मैंने बहुत बार सुना है कि यार दीदी पहले प्रॉब्लम हो जाता था सॉल्व, एंड इंटरव्यू के टाइम पे क्योंकि मैंने डेवलपमेंट पे फोकस कर दिया, तो नाउ आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिकॉल कि मैंने क्या कौन कौन से क्वेश्चंस करे थे, एंड आई एम नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व इट प्रॉपर्ली, बिकॉज interview is also time bound process, right? So you have to solve DSA questions also very quickly. So streak तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं टूटने देना. It's just that you just need 1 month for DSA, for good DSA practice. मैं अपना बता रही हूँ, मैंने 1 महीना किया था, so all you can even do better than me. So you can maybe even be interview ready within 15 days if your target is even higher than 10. So you can definitely do that. And I would suggest कि pattern follow मत करो. So usually क्या होता है कि हम ऐसे टारगेट रखते हैं कि ठीक है मैं 2 दिन में एरे खत्म करूंगा. सो फर्स्ट 2 days you are just solving questions on array, and then the next 2 days you are just solving questions on string, then maybe something related to graph or trees or tries etc. उसमें क्या होता है, let's say you have covered 5 data structures and after that you start solving the first data structure जो आपने सीखा था, then you will start forgetting the algorithms that you have learned. Because क्यों क्या हो रहा था उस टाइम पे, आपको पता था कि नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन जो मैं सॉल्व करने वाला हूँ वो एरे का ही होने वाला है, उसमें सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ एल्गोरिथम्स ही लगने वाली है जो मैंने एरे के बारे में रीड करी है. सो यू ऑलरेडी न्यू कि आपका सॉल्यूशन क्या है. तो जब आपको 5 डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स के बाद एक रैंडम प्रॉब्लम दिया गया, यू वर नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व इट प्रॉपरली, क्योंकि यहाँ पे आपको नहीं पता कि ये कौन से डेटा स्ट्रक्चर से आया है या कौन सी एल्गोरिथम एक्सपेक्ट करी जा सकती है. सो इंस्टेड पिक रैंडम क्वेश्चंस, और इसके लिए बेस्ट चीज रहेगी स्टार्ट पार्टिसिपेटिंग कॉन्टेस्ट, क्योंकि कॉन्टेस्ट में कोई ऐसा पैटर्न नहीं होता कि आपको कौन सा डेटा स्ट्रक्चर यूज करना है, कौन सा एल्गोरिथम यूज करना है. यू डोंट नो एनीथिंग. एंड द सेकेंड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज इंटरव्यू में कभी भी आपको डायरेक्टली नहीं बोला जाएगा कि अच्छा डाइकेस्ट्रा इम्प्लीमेंट करो और DFS लगाओ और BFS लगाओ. There will be always a story of that question and you have to figure it out कि इस स्टोरी के अंदर एक्चुअल में प्रॉब्लम क्या है, कौन सा एल्गोरिथम है. एंड स्टैंडर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स का यही है कि स्टैंडर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स में जो भी आपको लीड कोड पे मिलेगा या इन प्लेटफॉर्म्स में मिलेगा, देयर विल बी अ डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन कि दिस इज द इनपुट, दिस इज द आउटपुट, इम्प्लीमेंट दिस पर्टिकुलर एल्गोरिथम, और थोड़ा सा कुछ भी ट्विस्ट लिखा होगा उसमें. लाइक देयर विल बी नो प्रॉपर स्टोरी ऑफ दैट क्वेश्चन. सो वो चीज आपको कॉन्टेस्ट में काफी अच्छे से मिल जाती है. सो दैट ऑल्सो रियली हेल्प्स इन द इंटरव्यू प्रोसेस. सो आई वुड से स्टार्ट विद DSA. फर्स्ट 1 or 2 weeks स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस करो. आफ्टर दैट स्टार्ट पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन कॉन्टेस्ट सो दैट आपका स्ट्रीक बना रहे, एंड पैरेलली डेवलपमेंट और किसी प्रोजेक्ट में और हैकाथॉन में पार्टिसिपेट करना start कर दो, so that your resume also has some meat around development.
Right. बाकी मुझे I can already see like there are a lot of questions in the chat box. Guys देखो, I know तुम्हें पसंद आ रहा है सेशन, तो प्लीज रिएक्ट करो. आई वांट सर्टेन इमोजीज. कम ऑन एवरीवन. मैसेजेस इतने बड़े बड़े लिख रहे हैं सारे, ये नहीं कि कोई अच्छे से इमोजीज भेज दे. ओके, आई कैन सी. नाइस. चंद्रशेखर त्रिपाठी सारी यही भेज रहा है. ओके, एंड गाइस मैं एक बार बता दूं आपको कि Q&A सेशन विल बी हैविंग इट बाय एट द एंड. ठीक है, तो क्वेश्चंस लिख दो आप, आपके लास्ट में क्वेश्चंस लाइक सारे आंसर हो जाएंगे. एंड या इमोजीज भेजते रहो यार रेगुलर, मुझे बार बोलना नहीं पड़ेगा. ठीक है, आई वांट कि तुम थोड़ा दीदी भी फिर इससे बोर नहीं होंगी. वरना इतने क्वेश्चंस आ रखे ऑलरेडी तुम लोगों के. ओके, नाइस. ओके, सो बाय द वे मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था आपसे कि लाइक ऑलरेडी बिफोर दिस आप लाइक यू वर लाइक अ प्रोडक्ट इंटर्न एट एडोबे. सो वहां से जब आप लिंक्डइन पे आए एज सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर, तो वो ट्रांजिशन कैसा था आपका? लाइक पहले प्रोडक्ट इंटर्न, फिर एक्सपीरियंस कैसा था एडोबे का? कैसे लाइक क्या कुछ तो हुआ होगा?
Yeah, even before Adobe na, I had really different experiences. So in one of the startup, I was handling their creative side. So I was the creative head. Then in one, I was the management head. Then in one, I was handling the content part. So I had a very different experience in that way. So when I joined Adobe as product intern, first of all, even when I joined as software development engineer with LinkedIn, I had no expectation कि मुझे किस टाइप का टेक स्टैक मिलेगा, किस टाइप के प्रोजेक्ट्स मिलेंगे. I had no expectations. So even when I joined with Adobe as product intern, I went there with zero expectations कि मुझे किस टाइप के प्रोजेक्ट्स हैंडल करने को मिलने वाले हैं. So yeah, the experience was really good, and I also got PPO from them, but मुझे LinkedIn ज़्यादा अच्छा लगा था. So I went with the offer with LinkedIn because of the team culture and the tech stack. In Adobe, they were doing development in C++. And I thought, ठीक है, early stage में I really want to do some real stuff like applications बनाने, मुझे low level पे इतना काम नहीं करना. So that was the main reason why I didn't join Adobe. And हाँ, after that team culture तो था ही, like LinkedIn का team culture is famous, so that was again another reason. But हाँ, काम वाइज काफी अच्छा था Adobe भी. एंड स्पेशली लड़कियों के लिए एडोबी इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट कंपनी टू बी इन. काफ़ी अवार्ड्स मिल चुके हैं एडोबी को फॉर दैट रीजन. सो या यू कैन जॉइन देयर. एंड प्रोडक्ट इंटर्न का ना, यू कैन से एडोबी में एज सच बहुत ज़्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है. प्रोडक्ट इंटर्न इज सिमिलर टू सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर ओनली, जस्ट दैट दे हैव सम एक्स्ट्रा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ गैदरिंग द सिस्टम रिक्वायरमेंट एज वेल. सो देयर इज अ कंप्लीट लाइफ साइकिल ना, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग लाइफ साइकिल, जो आप सबको कॉलेज में पढ़ाई जा रही होगी, मे बी अभी और मे बी बाद में पढ़ाई जाएगी. सो देयर इज फर्स्ट यूजर रिक्वायरमेंट गैदरिंग, देन यू अंडरस्टैंड कि अच्छा आपकी करंट टेक स्टैक से यू हाउ यू आर एबल टू अचीव दैट फीचर रिक्वेस्ट. देन फाइनली आप डेवलप करते हो, उसमें प्रोडक्ट इंजीनियर्स जाते हैं, यूआई इंजीनियर्स जाते हैं, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर्स जाते हैं, देन यू गैदर द यूजर फीडबैक, दोबारा से इनकॉर्पोरेट करते हो एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स. सो उसमें प्रोडक्ट इंटर्न में यूजर रिक्वायरमेंट गैदरिंग भी इन्वॉल्व हो जाता है, यूजर फीडबैक भी इन्वॉल्व हो जाता है, एंड डेवलपमेंट आपको करना ही है. सो आपका जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है वो थोड़ा बड़ा हो जाता है. बट बिकॉज ऑफ द रीजन दैट आई शेयर्ड कि मुझे टेक स्टैक इतना पसंद नहीं आया, एंड आई वांटेड टू बिल्ड समथिंग ऐसा जो दिखे, right? When you are building libraries or low level applications, you are not able to see the direct impact of it. It is going to be used by some other application, user facing application. So मुझे user facing application चाहिए था. That is why I joined Intech.
ओके दी, तो बेसिकली जैसे आपने बोला कि वहाँ पे C++ था और आप एक जावा डेवलपर हो, तो बहुत सारे लोगों का एक क्वेश्चन होता है कि हम कौन सी लैंग्वेज से मतलब सीखना शुरू करें. C++, जावा, जावास्क्रिप्ट, इतनी सारी लैंग्वेजेस होती हैं और सब में हम डीए से भी सीख सकते हैं. फायदा कुछ का होता है कि हम कुछ में डेवलपमेंट भी साथ साथ कर सकते हैं. तो इससे काफी ज्यादा कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है कि कौन सी लैंग्वेज से हमको डेवलपमेंट करनी, मतलब सीखना चाहिए, स्टार्ट करना चाहिए.
अच्छा, तो मैं अपना एक्सपीरियंस बताती हूँ. आई डिड डीएसए इन C++. Then I did development in JavaScript, or you can say MERN stack, in my college. और जितने भी मेरे hackathons projects हैं, they are mostly in MERN stack. After that, I did development in C++ again as product intern in Adobe. And after that, in LinkedIn, I joined as backend engineer, where the tech stack was Java and Offspring. And after that, I started working as a full stack developer. So I started working JavaScript and related frameworks which were developed by LinkedIn itself. So these are internal frameworks. So now I am a full stack developer. But if you tell me tomorrow that you have to build an application in maybe Django, Python, or some different tech stack, I'll be completely comfortable with that as well. So the barrier is not language at all. If you see, languages are just a difference in syntax. The actual logic of the application is going to same as like same only. There is no difference of, like, in the interview as well. If you see, most of these companies are usually now asking to write a pseudo implementation of the code instead of actual working code, right? They usually don't ask you to compile that code, and if there's a problem in the compilation, then you feel that okay, you have messed it up. It's not going to work like that. You just have to write the pseudo implementation of that code, because language is just the syntactic sugar. You're just going to enhance that code or that logic. So language is not at all a barrier. It's just that prefer to use some object oriented programming related languages, because now if you are working with, let's say, language like C++ or Java, you are able to understand the object oriented programming concepts as well, which are again very important in your interviews. But if you are following some language, let's say Python, then you have like, you will just learn those concepts by just reading a book or reading some lecture. right? But when you are actually understanding that language, when you are able to understand कि अच्छा C++ में inheritance कैसे हो रहा है, Java में polymorphism etc कैसे हो रहा है, you are actually able to understand कि ये work कैसे करता है, instead of just reading that particular book or clearing your exams. So language is not at all a barrier. You can choose any language you are comfortable in. जस्ट DSA के लिए ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग का कोई लैंग्वेज चूज करो, एंड डेवलपमेंट के लिए ट्राई करो लेटेस्ट frameworks and language use karo. For example, PHP is not at all recommended. I will not recommend it now. But a few years back, PHP was used. Even now, many companies use PHP because of their legacy code. But now, if you have a chance to learn something new from scratch, I would recommend to learn something जो अभी ट्रेंड में चल रहा है. You can maybe learn JavaScript का shell जैसे हो गया एक new framework, or something related to Python is also really like काफी ज़्यादा यूज हो रही है, काफी इजी होता है पाइथन में बिकॉज ऑफ फ्लटर और मेनी फ्रेमवर्क्स जो पाइथन के ऊपर बने हुए हैं. सो यू कैन लर्न दैट. बट हाँ, एज सच कुछ दिक्कत नहीं होती. लाइक डू यू रियली थिंक दैट अगर मैं अभी स्विच करूँ, या फिर इवन टीम अगर चेंज करूँ, या फिर हमारी टीम में ही नया टेक स्टैक आ जाए, तो डू यू रियली थिंक दैट मैं उनसे बोलने वाली हूँ मुझे टेक स्टैक नहीं आता तो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क ऑन दैट प्रोजेक्ट?
No, absolutely not. It was ऐसे लोग को क्वेश्चन हो जाता है कि फर्स्ट सेकंड ईयर में जैसे वो स्टार्ट कर रहे होते हैं डेवलपमेंट, मतलब जर्नी स्टार्ट कर रहे होते हैं, तो उनको बेसिक क्वेश्चन यही होता है कि हम किस में शुरू करें इस चीज के लिए.
हाँ, तो किसी में भी कर सकते हो. जस्ट दैट फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज आई प्रेफर C++ मैं सजेस्ट करती हूँ बिकॉज इट्स इजी टू लर्न. जावा का सिंटेक्स थोड़ा हैवी होता है, सो मुझे भी बहुत डर लगता था जावा से इन माई कॉलेज टाइम्स बिकॉज ऑफ द सिंटेक्स. But now I'm completely comfortable with it. So you can start with C++ if you're just starting. Very basic syntax C++ का होता है, and it's easy to learn as well. So you can start with that.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'd like to know कि जैसे देखो to the audience itself कि देखो भाई सबको मैंने बता दिया है कि ऋषिका दी she has already been a part of the Google SPS program. ठीक है, सबको पता है ये चीज़ है. पहले मुझे ये बताओ ऑडियंस में से किसको पता है गूगल SPS प्रोग्राम के बारे में? कितने लोगों को पता है? लेट्स सी, बताओ भाई, हाँ या ना. ओके, रिएक्ट कर रहे हो, ध्यान. ओके, यू मे रिएक्ट या चैट में लिख दो. चलो, कम ऑन. ओके, नहीं पता. ओके, किसी को भी नहीं पता? ओ माय गॉड. ओके ओके, शैलेंद्र समवन रेज द हैंड. ओके, सो दी अब आप बताओ क्या सीन था गूगल SPS प्रोग्राम का?
हाँ, देखो इससे आपको बहुत अच्छा एक लेसन मिलने वाला है. सो गूगल SPS प्रोग्राम ना इंडिया में था नहीं पहले. आर्स वाज द फर्स्ट कोहर्ट, एंड आई एम नॉट श्योर उसके बाद कितने कोहर्ट आए या आए भी या नहीं. आई एम ऑल्सो नॉट इवन श्योर ऑफ दैट. सो SPS इज अ प्रोग्राम जहाँ पे इट्स लाइक अ कंप्लीट इंटर्नशिप ओनली. आपको गूगलर्स एज मेंटर्स मिलेंगे, आपको एक प्रोजेक्ट दिया जाएगा जो आपको कंप्लीट करना है. देयर विल बी डेमोज, देयर विल बी इंटरमीडिएट सेशंस और presentations होंगी. You will get a chance to interact with Google engineers. आपकी एक टीम बनाई जाएगी, आप लोग साथ में प्रोजेक्ट करोगे. So you can say it's a hackathon कम internship. Like hackathon का एक्सपीरियंस है क्योंकि आपको एक इंडिपेंडेंट प्रोजेक्ट दिया जा रहा है, आपकी एक टीम बनाई जा रही है अलग से. एंड इंटर्नशिप बिकॉज यू हैव गूगल मेंटोर्स एंड यू हैव एक्सेस टू एवरीथिंग दैट अ गूगलर विल हैव. सो दोनों का कंबाइंड है. नाउ इसमें अपॉर्चुनिटी कैसे मिली मुझे? सो देयर वर 73 स्टूडेंट्स ऑल ओवर इंडिया जो सिलेक्ट हुए थे फॉर दिस प्रोग्राम, इंक्लूडिंग श्रद्धा दीदी, इफ यू नो. सो उनका लाइक हमारा सेम कोहर्ट में था. सो डायरेक्ट मेल आया था हम सबके पास. देयर वाज नो एप्लीकेशन और इंटरव्यू प्रोसेस. एंड मेल क्यों आया था? बिकॉज वी ऑल वर ऑलरेडी देयर इन गूगल्स डेटाबेस. हम लोगों ने पास में गूगल के साथ इंटरव्यू किया था, और मे बी सम स्कॉलरशिप के लिए अप्लाई किया था, और मे बी सम event, we were part of some event, Google organized event, so that can be another reason. So once you are there in the company's database, so ऐसे future opportunities आपको direct approach करते हैं company वाले. So The reason being, let's say अभी एक अच्छा candidate company को मिला but they don't have the head count or they don't have a job opportunity, तो do you really think कि वो एक अच्छे candidate को miss कर देंगे? No. Next time जब job open होगी, they will reach out to you if you have already given some of the interviews or if you have already shared your interest to work with the company. The same चीज हुई, we all were there in the Google's database, so Google ने directly हमें approach किया that you are one of the selected candidate and we want you to be a part of Google XPS program. Now at that time I was already doing internship with LinkedIn. My summer internship was going on and that opportunity came. Now the problem is how do I manage time, because internship ke time to PPO is the main target, right? And this was also internship because at the end of Google SPS program there was some interviews planned that can give you a full-time opportunity with Google as well. So definitely I wanted to do both and I did both, and I got PPO from LinkedIn and I got full-time opportunity with Google as well. But the thing is you have to there in company's database, and for this you can network with people, you can attend different sessions organized by these companies, you can apply to different job opportunities. So कई बार ऐसा भी होता है, if you have shown interest to a particular job opening and if the headcount is already complete, then the company will reach out to you if there is any next job opening, because you have shown interest to that. So make sure you keep on applying to different companies so that future opportunities के लिए companies directly आपको approach करें. And हाँ, बाकी time manage and बाकी चीजें manage करने से you can manage different things together. तो डेवलपमेंट और डीएसए तो मैनेज कर ही लोगे यार. मतलब if you can manage multiple internships together, then you can manage DSA.
Like आप तो इन चीजों में एक्सपर्ट हो, राइट? मैनेजमेंट सब कुछ एक साथ.
No, but I think if I can do, I was also a student only na, at that time. So if I can do that, then you all can. And I
Exactly.
feel like जैसे जैसे जनरेशन ग्रो हो रही है, that these skills are evolving more. Like I think the students of this generation are more capable than I was in my college time. So I have no doubt that you all will be able to do it.
देख लो, अब तुम्हें प्रूफ करना है ऋषिका मैम को, वो तुम्हें चैलेंज कर रही है कि भाई इनसे अच्छा करना है, राइट? बताओ भाई, कितने शांत बैठे सारे के सारे. ओहो, रो रहे हैं बच्चे, क्या बात है. मतलब कुछ करना नहीं है इनको.
तो दी बेसिकली आप ये कंटेंट क्रिएशन, क्योंकि जैसे हम लिंक्डइन पे भी देखें या किसी भी प्लेटफॉर्म पे देखें, तो आप कंटेंट क्रिएशन आजकल एक बहुत ज्यादा ऐसा चीज हो गया जिसको करने से काफी ज्यादा फायदे हैं. तो आपने कंटेंट क्रिएशन की जो पूरी जर्नी है वो आपने किस तरीके से जैसे स्टार्ट की और बाकी लोगों को कैसे किया, मतलब करनी चाहिए उनके लिए, उससे वो आप मतलब आप अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर कर सकते हैं इस बारे में.
Sure. So see, I started this journey in COVID times, and the idea was not at all to earn or to get famous or things like that. I was just getting bored क्योंकि घर पे और कुछ था नहीं करने के लिए. And I was so book reading के ऊपर एक I wanted to share something. So ना मुझे जो ये स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स है ना, जैसे गैल्विन हो गई और ई बालगुस्वामी हो गई, जो आप लोग को आई थिंक नहीं अच्छी लगती होंगी क्योंकि कॉलेज में पढ़ाई जाती है. सो आई यूज्ड टू एंजॉय देम अ लॉट. मतलब ये बुक्स ऐसी थी कि मुझे फ्री टाइम मिलता था, मैं पढ़ने लग जाती थी. So I had a lot of interest reading these books, and these books are really good. They have explained, let's say object oriented programming का ही अगर मैं example ले, they have explained object oriented programming concepts very well in the book. You don't need any kind of lecture, any kind of YouTube playlist to understand object oriented programming if you are able to understand E. Balagoswami properly. So I used to enjoy it like a lot. So वहाँ से ही start हुआ. I thought कि ठीक है, मुझे interest है and मैं वैसे भी तो पढ़ती हूँ ना. So I just started creating video on that, जिसमें even मेरा face भी नहीं दिख रहा है. You can check it out on my YouTube channel. कि मैं बस सिंपल बुक रीड कर रही हूँ एंड बस समझा रही हूँ कि ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग क्या होता है. And that those videos got a lot of traction, and for the same reason few of the startups जैसे न्यूटन स्कूल हो गया, इवन स्केलर, they directly approached me. I was, क्योंकि मैंने बताया, I was not doing it because of money or something. तो कोई aim नहीं था कि I used to cold email these companies so that they can give me a chance in on their channel or something like that. They approached me that that they like my video and they want to collaborate with me. So that's how the journey started. Uske baad I worked with Upgrad, I worked with an academy का ग्राफी अब उन्होंने न्यू स्टार्ट किया है, ग्राफी, स्केलर, न्यूटन स्कूल. So I work with all these startups for their content creation in tech. So yeah, that's how the journey started.
अब भी एक बात बताओ, देखो लाइक लिंक्डइन पे हम लोगों ने लाइक स्टार्टिंग में एवरीवन इज लाइक कि चलो कंटेंट क्रिएट करते हैं एंड ऑडियंस भी आती है क्योंकि दे आर लाइक यार कुछ अभी अभी कंटेंट आ रहे रेगुलरली, उनको फायदा मिल रहा है. एंड अब प्रॉब्लम आती है रिटेंशन की. ठीक है कि लोग आते हैं, उनको पता है कि ठीक है कंटेंट रेगुलरली आ रहा है, हम तो फायदे में रह रहे हैं तो रुकते हैं. थोड़ा सा कंटेंट आना बंद होता है तो ऑडियंस चली जाती है, तो उसको कैसे रिटेन करके रखे. तो लाइक ना एक बना रहता है कि हाँ यार ऑडियंस आ रही है तो रुक भी रही है. एक होता है आ रही है जा रही है, बहुत फ्लक्चुएशन हो रही है, तो उसमें क्या कहना है आपका?
I think it depends on your priority. So the stage that I am in right now, my main priority is my career first. So I can take a vouch if I am not able to let's say deliver content every single day, but I cannot let my career be at, let's say, side position. I'm completely fine if audience is expecting that I'm going to give content every single day on all the platforms. So I'm not like, I'm active on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Insta. There are 4 handles I am handling single-handedly. I don't have any manager or content creator or video editor, anyone. So handling every single platform and making sure that I am delivering content on every single platform with my full-time job and other things, I think it would be a very difficult job to do. So I don't take it so, you can say, um so harsh on myself. If I'm not able to do it, it's fine because I have a full-time job as well. I think it depends on your priority and your life goals. If you have a life goal to become
Okay, so Harsh Rawat.
yeah.
Okay, mic is closed now. Yes.
Yeah. So if you really want to become a full-time content creator, then your priority definitely would be to deliver content, top-notch content every single day, and you will keep on checking your analytics and everything. But I don't do that.
Even that is healthy, वरना फोकस शिफ्ट होता है, प्रेशर आता है. राइट, एग्जैक्टली. और आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क, ओके दिस इज द लास्ट क्वेश्चन गाइस, ठीक है? इसके बाद विल बी हेडिंग विद Q&A. तो क्वेश्चंस तैयार रखो अपने, इसके बाद आई विल डायरेक्टली गेट टू चैट बॉक्स एंड क्वेश्चंस विल बी आंसर्ड. सो द क्वेश्चन इज कि लाइक वेयर डू यू सी योर करियर इन द नेक्स्ट फ्यू इयर्स? लाइक वेयर डू यू सी योरसेल्फ फ्रॉम टुडे?
I would say principal staff or staff engineer.
Like maybe it can be ki,
See,
any goals, anything.
yeah. So there are 2 things. One is the career for myself, like how I want to see myself in my tech career, which is definitely going to be like principal staff or staff engineer. I do not want to go into management side, so I'm saying principal staff. But apart from that, I really want to keep on creating good content, to keep on like connecting with student community, helping them with interview. I really want to spend more time than I am doing today in my, apart from career things like these involvement in with student community. I really want to invest more time in that. So I hope in the next few years, when I have done something good in my career, I want to give it back to the community. So hopefully that will increase.
Yeah, exactly. क्योंकि like पता है, मैंने I've noticed this कि mostly लोगों का motivation पैसा कमाना होता है. और पैसे कमाने के पीछे का मोटिवेशन होता है यार हमें शॉपिंग करनी है खुल के, घूमने जाना है, ये करना है, वो करना है। आई थिंक काफी लोग होंगे ना यहाँ पे। बताओ भाई, मोटिवेशन क्या है तुम्हारा पैसे कमाने का? क्यों जॉब कर रहे हो यहाँ पे? क्यों आए बीटेक में? सबसे ज्यादा पैसे बीटेक में इसलिए आ गए, पैसा ही पैसा होगा। अरे भाई ऐसा कुछ नहीं। अच्छा आप बताओ दी, ऐसा है? पैसा ही पैसा होगा? बताओ।
होगा।
होगा। Nice. तो लाइक आपका क्या मोटिवेशन है? लाइक आपको घूमना पसंद है?
बिकॉज ऑफ द सेम रीजन मेरा मोटिवेशन पैसा नहीं है, बिकॉज आई एम एबल टू अर्न गुड विद माई फुल टाइम जॉब, राइट? तो ठीक है यार, मतलब पैसे के लिए मुझे 2 जॉब नहीं करनी है, कंटेंट क्रिएशन और ये। I am fully satisfied with my one full-time job, and I am able to do all the things that I wanted to do in my college time. I travel a lot. I go to a lot of sessions, and I have a lot of friends. So yeah, most of the things that I think of as a good life, I already have it. Touch wood. So yeah, apart from that, I really want that other also get the same thing that they want in their life, and if I am able to help them with the things that I have, it's, I think there should be few things you should do without thinking how it is going to benefit you.
एग्जैक्टली राइट। जैसे अभी चैट में भी लिखा है, उद्यान ने लिखा है कि मेन रीजन नेटवर्क। एंड आई थिंक ये इसका काफी जेन्युइन पॉइंट है कि नेटवर्किंग, फिर आपका फ्रेंड सर्कल उस डायरेक्शन में शिफ्ट होता है, थॉट प्रोसेस पूरा चेंज होता है, राइट?
Definitely.
राइट। ओके सो ओके विल बी स्टार्टिंग अब। चलो Q&A स्टार्ट करते हैं। बताओ दी। ओके
Sure.
Okay, so guys, Q&A start हो गया है and I can see a lot of questions here. Okay, and Chaitanya, एक बार आप भी देख लो कोई भी questions you think ना जो repeated है, we won't be asking the repeated question guys, and जो already answered है वो भी नहीं पूछेंगे, कुछ नया डालो तभी पूछा जाएगा. Let's see कितने creative हो तुम लोग यहाँ पे. Okay, someone is asking कि what can I message people on LinkedIn asking for an internship opportunity? Okay.
Which one? नीचे से पढ़ रहे हो क्वेश्चन या ऊपर से?
हाँ, I think maybe this one is quite recent. प्रथम ने पूछा है. So,
what can I message people on LinkedIn asking for an internship opportunity? Okay, so you basically want to how to ask for referrals?
Yeah, maybe he's asking for हाँ वही LinkedIn के लिए, like LinkedIn पे कैसे internships के लिए. I think referral ही कह रहा है वो.
So, देखो, for referral, there are few things that you have to make sure you are adding in the in-mail, or if you are directly connected with the person, how you are framing your message. First is, as a referee, हमें 2-3 questions answer करने होते हैं. First is, why should we hire you? Question. That is like very important. Then उसके बाद if we have a direct experience working with you or not, and some other basic question to make sure that we are not just randomly giving referrals to everyone. So what you can do is, in the message itself, you can draft a third person message of why should we hire you. Like, he is very passionate about this job, he is quite experienced in this particular area, I have some experience with this person, like जो भी आपका experience होगा, you can mention. So in the third person, write all these things so that it becomes easier for the referee to give you a referral. Then definitely add the job ID, because without job ID, it would be difficult to search for that particular job, because usually companies की जब openings होती हैं तो they open for different job positions and different team as well. So make sure you add the right जॉब लिंक. इट कैन बी लिंक्डइन का जॉब लिंक हो सकता है, या फिर उनके करियर पोर्टल पे जो जॉब एप्लीकेशंस ओपन होती है, इट कैन बी दैट लिंक एज वेल. सो वंस यू हैव जॉब आईडी, वंस यू हैव डेफिनेटली रेज्यूमे तो ऐड करना ही है. रेज्यूमे विद योर नेम, because as a referee we get a lot of such messages, so it becomes little messy कि किसने मुझे अप्रोच किया था, कब अप्रोच किया था, और किस पर्सन को कितना एक्सपीरियंस है. So once you have name in your resume, it becomes little easy for the referee. So once you have resume, you have I should be hire you have basic details, your email or contact details, you have the job ID. Then you can add something कि आपको क्यों requirement इस job की. क्योंकि यार ये जो टेम्पलेट है ना, ये बेसिक वाला टेम्पलेट सब लोग फॉलो करते होंगे, सब लोग लिखते होंगे कि मैं क्यों अच्छा हूँ, मेरे रेज्यूमे में ये सब कुछ है, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. You can mention if there is some explicit thing. For example, in the recent times, there were a lot of layoffs in the market because of the market situation. So, as a referee, when I used to see messages ki I was impacted by the layoff and I am actively looking for a job, it used to grab my attention, right? Because I am now able to understand कि क्यों need है. But if you're a college student, I already know कि आपका on campus placement अभी चल रहा होगा, you must be applying there or things like that. So it is possible कि मैं miss कर सकती हूँ, like कोई instant attention नहीं जा रहा message पे. So you can mention those situations कि आपके लिए कितनी important है एक particular job. So it definitely helps and it adds a human touch to the message and it works. So yeah, you can definitely message for reference on LinkedIn, or for say you can even message on Twitter as well. Twitter also work, Instagram also work. So you can see another hack. So check on which platform the person has the least following and then message there. Because the problem is, let's say I have most following on LinkedIn, so my DMs are always flooded. So most probably when there is a job opening, there will be a lot of messages with the same intent, right? Everyone wants to get a referral. So most probably I will miss your message. But if you are messaging on me, let's say on Instagram, then I will check that message. So, or you can even target people who have less following on social media. So they will definitely uh, check your referee request. Because referee के time पे it's not about कि किसने रेफर किया है, कितनी फॉलोइंग वाले ने रेफर किया है.
This is like
रेफर किया है.
it's like a secret hack. Note कर सकते हैं सारे लोग. Right.
बेसिकली आयुष अपना हैंड रेज डाउन कर सकते हैं, आपसे थोड़ी देर में बात कर लेंगे, पहले चैट वाले क्वेश्चन सारे खत्म करने के बाद. तो श्रेया ने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा है that does LinkedIn provide TPO immediately after the internship ends or is there a waiting period, and also what is the criteria that LinkedIn uses for extending the PPO?
So immediately तो नहीं बताते and most of these companies immediately नहीं बताएंगी. So see, internship के अंदर ना, one is your performance component and the second is company का requirement, head count. So let's say आपने काफी अच्छा परफॉर्म किया but the company is in a bad situation and they are not expecting new hires or they are not expecting new employees in their company, उसके बाद भी आपको PPO नहीं मिलेगा. So this is the one thing that I usually say to students कि even if you are failing in a contest or if you are not getting PPO or if you are not getting like selected in the interview process, there is always going to be a luck factor. So one is your hard work, second is your luck factor. You can control your hard work, but you cannot control luck. So if there are things which you cannot, LinkedIn में for LinkedIn directly आपको नहीं पता चलेगा. Like once your internship is done, next day आपको नहीं पता चलेगा whether you are going to get a PP or not. So I would suggest you to set for placements. And if you get a placement, well and good, you get a safe chance to choose whatever company you want to go. If you don't get, I think after a few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, they announce the results. And the PPO conversion at LinkedIn is really good because I think I mentioned already as well that LinkedIn usually don't hire freshers. They convert their interns into full-time employees or they directly hire senior engineers. So yeah, the PPO conversion rate is why very good until unless you have done like very bad job or the company is not expecting to add more new employees.
I hope we have got the answer. Baki, we have Udyon Ocha. Okay. The question is ki, how did you revise before the interviews? For example, I've joined a company and now I have sprinkler third round interview coming up in 4 days. I'm paranoid about DSA now as it's been long time. So how do you revise before the interviews? I think that's the main question.
So see, if you already know about the company, I would highly recommend to go to the company tags. You can directly search on Google Sprinkler last 2 years questions, and you can like go through all the questions that come up in that particular list. You will see a pattern. So every company has some favorite data structures and algorithm. Let's say in Uber, you will see a lot of questions on graph or graph related algorithm, because their main work is related to graph, right? So you will find these kind of patterns while solving those complete tag questions. So once you have, like, let's say you have enough time, and you have solved all the questions that are coming in that particular company tag list, and you have identified that okay, इस company में array से बहुत ज़्यादा related questions पूछे जा रहे हैं, you can go to your list जो आपने already solve किए हुए problems related to array. और मे बी यू कैन सी द टॉप एल्गोरिथम्स जो एरे के क्वेश्चंस में यूज करी जाती है, एंड यू कैन जस्ट सॉल्व 1 or 2 क्वेश्चंस पर एल्गोरिथम सो दैट यू आर एबल टू ब्रश अप दोस और रिवाइज दोस कॉन्सेप्ट्स. एंड आई थिंक जिसने भी क्वेश्चन पूछा ही मेंशन कि 3-4 दिन में अराउंड, आई थिंक देयर इज इनफ टाइम टू गो थ्रू दोज क्वेश्चंस. अगर ऐसा होता है कल ही है तो मे बी मैं ये सजेस्ट नहीं करती. But you have enough time, so you can go through the complete tag questions and prepare well. By the way, all the best.
Okay, I think that answers that. So, I have not started anything yet.
Maybe Chaitanya, I think your voice was like, maybe you can start the question again, or maybe I had some problem. I don't know.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible now.
All right. So Anonymous was asking that as for a student moving to third year who has not started anything yet, please guide. BTech IT, Tier 3 college.
Okay. First of all, I think instead of exploring, like randomly exploring things, you now need a very planned schedule, both in development and DSA. So you can take, there are some free courses available, or if you can spend some money, there are paid courses as well, bestseller courses on Udemy, edx, and many platforms, and very minimal fees there, like 500 full stack development you will get to learn about. So you can take a planned course both on DSA and development, because you have like time crunch there, and you can learn both things in parallel. So I think strategy मैंने already बता दी है. For DSA, what you can do is you can start with solving some let's say 5 questions, because you are just starting. So you can take a target of 5 questions a day, and once you have enough experience, you can start the development in parallel. And in DSA, instead of practicing standard questions one by one, you can start participating in competitions, so that आपकी logical skills by core improve हो जाए. So that's how you can start. Plan course लो, उसमें आपके सारे standard algorithm सब कुछ cover हो जाएगा. They will most probably teach you interview preparation as well. And in the development, you can learn काफ़ी ऐसे, you can learn maybe mean or MERN stack, जो ऐसे widely available है, जिनके आपको बहुत सारी YouTube playlist भी मिल जाएगी. बहुत सारा like Google पे भी content available है. अगर आपको कोई doubt भी है, there will be good Google support there. So you can choose some tech stack like that जो काफ़ी widely available है, and build 1 or 2 projects, so that आपके resume में, once you are done with the DSA round, once you have solved your DSA questions, आपके resume में कुछ projects हो on which you can have a discussion with the interviewer. So make 1 or 2 projects only, and at the same time DSA अपना continue रखो, because I am assuming कि after few months only you are going to appear for interviews. So you have to complete both development and DSA. I hope it answers.
Yeah, it would have answered. Ayush, you go first with the question.
Hello, Deep.
Yeah, Ayush.
Hello. I have completed my first year and done only C programming of the syllabus. So now I want to ask, from where should I start in the beginning of second year?
ओके, सो अगर सी करा है देन नेक्स्ट स्टेप वुड बी सी प्लस प्लस. सी प्लस प्लस में यू कैन स्टार्ट योर डी एस ए. एंड जैसे मैंने बोला कि सी में अगर थोड़ा एक्सपीरियंस है तो सी प्लस प्लस स्टार्ट करना काफ़ी ईजी हो जाएगा. एंड यू कैन start solving questions related to TSA. And I would suggest, क्योंकि you already had some experience in C, so you can start learning development side by side directly. अभी से you can start, क्योंकि you have enough time. Second year में इतना burden नहीं होता internship का and interview का, so you have enough time to give to both the skills, so you can like manage both together. So DSA.
So should I take means should I take a paid course, or is there any means can you guide us that whether should I start from the YouTube or should I buy a course?
Yeah, you can start from YouTube only. So course मैंने इसलिए suggest किया था because that student was in 4th year and वहाँ पे time crunch था थोड़ा. So you know a complete planned कुछ ऐसा हो जिसमें आपको project भी मिल जाए course के साथ, जिसमें आपको interview preparation में भी help हो जाए, DSA के standard questions भी पता चल जाए, like everything packed in a very limited time, but you have enough time to explore. So I would suggest you to maybe कोई अच्छा YouTube का playlist you can check. If you are learning development and JavaScript में जाने का मन है, you can check out अक्षय सैनी का नमस्ते JavaScript और नमस्ते React. He also launched, or there are some freely available resources on YouTube. So अभी के लिए I would suggest कि free के लिए जाओ, and you will get enough. I think enough. आपको खुद ही पता चल जाएगा कि क्या चीज़ में इन्वेस्ट करना है या नहीं. डीएसए में तो करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है अभी बिल्कुल भी. डीएसए आपको कंपटीशन, यू हैव इनफ टाइम टू पार्टिसिपेट इन कॉम्पिटिशन्स. सो 1 साल कॉम्पिटिशन्स में कर करके ही हो जाएगा प्रैक्टिस फॉर द इंटरव्यूज. सो सेकेंड ईयर गिव इट कंप्लीट टू कॉम्पिटिशन्स एंड योर डीएसए एंड डेवलपमेंट स्किल. सो दोनों में ही आप सेकेंड ईयर में काफ़ी सारे हैकाथॉन्स और कोडिंग कॉम्पिटिशन में पार्टिसिपेट करो. आपके इनफ प्रोजेक्ट्स बन जाएंगे, आपकी इनफ लॉजिकल स्किल इम्प्रूवमेंट हो जाएगी एंड यू विल बी गुड टू गो इन थर्ड ईयर.
Thank you, Dee.
Yeah.
All right. So there was another question from Chandrasekhar Tripathi. Should a person in their 4th year still participate in hackathons, or should they focus on placement preparation only?
See, hackathons में फोकस करने का मतलब क्या है? आपको एक दिन ही तो देना है ना.
शायद मतलब उनका प्रोजेक्ट बनाने के लिए
और 2 दिन और ज्यादा से ज्यादा 1 हफ्ता, राइट. एंड डीएसए प्रिपरेशन इज नेवर लाइक कि मैं इस हफ्ते में डीएसए प्रिपरेशन करूंगा और इस हफ्ते में इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन करूंगा, राइट. इट ऑलवेज गोज लाइक कि अभी मैं 10 क्वेश्चन कर रहा हूँ, अभी मैं 1 क्वेश्चन करूंगा, अभी मैं 2 करूंगा, अभी मैं 1 करूंगा दोबारा, आज मैं ब्रेक ले लूंगा, देन 5 करूंगा. So it's like up and down and up and down. It's never 0 or 1, right? So कभी ऐसा नहीं होगा कि मुझे इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन पे ध्यान देना है या फिर हैकाथॉन्स और डेवलपमेंट पे ध्यान देना है. आपको इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन हमेशा करना ही है. इवन आई वुड से कि जॉब लगने के बाद भी करते रहना है. मे बी उसका तरीका चेंज हो जाएगा, मे बी यू विल स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग इट डिफरेंटली, बट तब भी आपको जॉब रेडी रहना है, तब भी आपको इंटरव्यू रेडी रहना है, तब भी आपको डीएसए करना है. आई माई सेल्फ डू डीएसए. तो कभी वो ब्रेक मत आने देना. बट हैकाथॉन्स इट्स अ +1 ऑलवेज. इवन जॉइनिंग द कंपनी आई एम पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन कंपनी हैकाथॉन्स. हाँ, अगर आपके पास टाइम नहीं है, इफ यू आर आस्किंग मी कि दोनों में से इफ यू डोंट हैव टाइम तो दोनों में से क्या करें, देन आई वुड सजेस्ट कि इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन पहले कर लो, क्योंकि हैकाथॉन बाद में भी हो जाएंगे. इफ यू ऑलरेडी हैव इनफ प्रोजेक्ट्स इन योर रेज्यूमे, you can take a break from hackathons and you can focus on your interview preparation. Basically difference is number of opportunities you are getting from one particular thing. So interview preparation अगर आप करोगे, अभी भी जो most of the companies हैं वो normal interview like उनका process काफी like you can say जैसा होता है यूजुअली, जैसे चलता आ रहा है वैसा ही है कि पहले ऑनलाइन असेसमेंट होगा, देन देयर विल बी 2 टेक्निकल और 3 टेक्निकल राउंड, देयर विल बी 1 HR राउंड, एंड दैट्स हाउ द कंप्लीट हायरिंग प्रोसेस विल लुक लाइक. The number of opportunities or I would say job opportunities that you can get from hackathons is still limited, And hence I'm saying, if you have a time crunch, if you want to choose between the two, then focus on interview preparation.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, next, I think we have Pratham Srivastav, and his question is: can a fresher get data analyst internship, and what are the chances of getting one? And how can I apply as an intern in LinkedIn? I think intern at LinkedIn आपने already explain कर दिया. Maybe you can answer that कि कैसे fresher को data analyst internship मिल रहा है.
इसमें मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है, जिसने भी क्वेश्चन पूछा है कि प्रॉब्लम क्या आ रही है. मतलब हर जॉब में एज अ फ्रेशर रोल तो होता ही है ना. इवन नाउ प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर्स के अंदर भी एसोसिएट प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर्स करके एक रोल निकाला है फॉर फ्रेशर्स. सो एवरी रोल हैज अ फ्रेशर जॉब. सो what is the problem that you're facing? Are you not able to find enough job for freshers, or are you not able to get enough replies from the job opportunities, or what's the issue? This may be पूछा.
I think they probably mean that they are from like the first year or something like that.
तो फर्स्ट ईयर में अप्लाई करो. तब तो देखो, इफ यू आर अप्लाइंग किसी एमएनसी में डेटा एनालिस्ट पोजीशन बीइंग अ फर्स्ट ईयर स्टूडेंट, सो रिप्लाई नहीं आने वाला है. स्ट्रेट आंसर. बट व्हाट यू कैन डू इज यू कैन अप्लाई फॉर स्टार्टअप्स. स्टार्टअप्स के अंदर मोस्टली ये बैरियर नहीं होता है कि आप कौन सी ईयर में हो, आप स्टूडेंट भी हो या फुल टाइम एम्प्लॉय हो कहीं पे. इफ़ यू वांट टू जॉइन पार्ट टाइम देयर, यू कैन जॉइन दैट एज वेल. स्टार्टअप्स में वो सारी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटीज होती हैं. बट एमएनसीज में क्या होता है ना, देयर आर मेनी रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस, लीगल इन्वॉल्वमेंट की देयर फुल टाइम एम्प्लॉय शुड नॉट बी अ कॉलेज स्टूडेंट, और इफ दे आर ऑफरिंग एन इंटर्नशिप तो उसका पूरा प्रोसीजर होगा. स्टार्टअप में वो सारी चीज़ें नहीं होंगी. सो यू कैन in that case you can check out platforms like Gig India, Internशाला. I think naukri.com पे भी काफ़ी मिल जाएगा आपको. So startups को टारगेट करो and वहाँ से you can start the journey.
And like अभी एक अपना करके ऐप भी आया ना, काफी उनकी एड्स आ रही है. आपने like करा है कभी ट्राई?
या मेरे टाइम पे तो वो नहीं था, तो मैंने तो इंटर्नशाला पे ही ट्राई किया था. नाउ आई डोंट सी लाइक मुझे क्यों करना है उसको यूज, तो मैंने करके देखा नहीं है. बट बाय एक्सपीरियंस आई कैन मेंशन कि इंटर्नशाला पे यू कैन फाइंड अ लॉट ऑफ स्टार्टअप्स एंड दे आल्सो रिस्पॉन्ड बैक इफ यू आंसर द व्हाई शुड वी हायर यू सेक्शन रियली वेल. सो वहाँ से आपको काफ़ी सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिल जाएंगी.
Or another question by Chandrasekhar is that should we learn about things like Babel, Webpack, and how to configure project architecture? Till now, I have only used CRA, Create React App, and Byte, etc.
देखो, आई विल नॉट सजेस्ट कि एक ही प्रॉब्लम के मल्टीपल सॉल्यूशंस को आप समझो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लोग कई बार ये भी बोलते हैं कि अच्छा, इट्स जस्ट एन एग्जाम्पल कि अच्छा मैंने अब रिएक्ट सीख लिया, शुड आई स्विच टू मे बी एम्बर, और शुड आई स्विच टू मे बी समथिंग एल्स, JS का ही कुछ और फ्रेमवर्क. आई से नो. मतलब एक फ्रेमवर्क सीख लिया, दैट्स मोर देन इनफ. फ्रेमवर्क सीखने से या लैंग्वेजेस चेंज करने से कुछ नहीं होगा. यू विल जस्ट मेक इट डिफिकल्ट फॉर योरसेल्फ इन द इंटरव्यू प्रोसेस. कि इंटरव्यूअर आपसे बोलेगा अच्छा आपको रिएक्ट भी आती है, अच्छा आपको पाइथन भी आती है, आपको जैंगो भी आता है, आपको एक्सप्रेस भी आता है, नोड.जेएस भी आता है, ये भी आता है, वो भी आता है, इतना सब कुछ आता है. एक बार इंटरव्यू डिटेल्स में घुसा तो वहां पे गड़बड़ हो जाएगी फिर, बिकॉज यू हैव लर्न वो क्या सेइंग है, मास्टर
सब कुछ सीख लिया, बट हाँ मास्टर, हाँ वही मास्टर ऑफ
कि सब कुछ सीख लिया, मास्टर एक के भी नहीं है. तो वो सेम चीज हो जाएगी एंड वो इट्स अ बैड इंप्रेशन इन द इंटरव्यू. सो आई वुड से फोकस ऑन वन. इफ यू हैव ऑलरेडी सम एक्सपीरियंस इन वन फील्ड, मेक श्योर कि आपको वो चीज अच्छे से आती. So, jack of everything.
Jack all trades, master of none.
And in fact, like I've seen कि कुछ internships क्या करती है, वो सब कुछ डाल देती है अपने skills में. And मुझे लगता है कि like they are setting a trap कि भाई वो internship के लिए सब कुछ resume में लिख देगा, skills में डाल देगा, फिर उसके अच्छे से मजे लेंगे हम. और ये मजे भी लेने देते हैं अपने, क्या हुआ वो हमारे मजे लो.
सी मैंने बताया ना, जॉब में कभी आपका प्लेसमेंट ऐसे नहीं होगा कि आपको क्या आता है. जॉब में आपका प्लेसमेंट ऐसे होगा कि कंपनी को क्या चाहिए. इफ दे नीड if they need you to develop a Java application, they will ask you to develop in Java. वो ये नहीं बोलने वाले कि ठीक है हमें Java में चाहिए था बट आपको Python आता है तो आप Python में डेवलप कर दो, ऐसा नहीं होने वाला. So बहुत सारी लैंग्वेजेस सीखने का एनीवेज कोई फायदा नहीं है बिकॉज यू डोंट नो कि किस कंपनी में कौन सा टेक स्टैक यूज होगा, राइट. आपको वो चीज कंपनी में जाने के बाद जब प्रोजेक्ट एलोकेट हो जाएगा तभी आपको पता चलेगा. एंड इट्स नॉट वेरी डिफिकल्ट एज वेल. किसी न्यू टेक स्टैक पे ऑनबोर्ड होना इट्स नॉट डिफिकल्ट. एंड ऐसा भी मत सोचना इफ इट्स अ न्यू टेक स्टैक तो आपको 1 महीना पहले कंपनी देगी कि अच्छा ये टेक स्टैक बैठ के सीखो. नो, you have to start the implementation from the very first day. So हाँ मतलब you will, I think after some time you get comfortable with this thing that language is just a syntactic thing and you can work on any language by any day.
Okay, so another question from Palak is, do the companies ask system design in interviews at fresher level? If yes, can you please suggest some resources for this?
डेफिनेटली कंपनीज पूछती है बट मोस्टली हाई लेवल डिजाइन रहता है, लो लेवल तक नहीं जाती. कुछ कंपनीज जा सकती हैं बट दे डोंट एक्सपेक्ट यू टू गिव अ लाइक वेरी कॉन्क्रीट सॉल्यूशन इन द लो लेवल डिजाइन. हाई लेवल डिजाइन अगर आपको सीखना है, गौरव सेन आई थिंक सब लोग फॉलो करते होंगे, यूट्यूब पे उनका चैनल है, काफी अच्छा सिस्टम डिजाइन, हाई लेवल डिजाइन का उन्होंने रिसोर्सेज बना रखे हैं. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट व्हाट यू कैन डू इज सी, जो भी आप हैकाथॉन में क्रिएट कर रहे हो ना, यू आर एक्चुअली डिजाइनिंग अ सॉल्यूशन ओनली. ये आपका एचएलडी ही है. इट्स जस्ट दैट हाउ यू आर प्रेजेंटिंग इट मैटर्स. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपको प्रॉब्लम ऐसे दिया जा सकता है, अच्छा डेवलपर रेट लिमिटर. सो सबसे पहले आप ये पूछो कि अच्छा रेट लिमिटर आपको बनाना है, उस रेट लिमिटर के कितने क्लाइंट्स होंगे, क्या हर क्लाइंट का हमें कोटा डिफाइन करना है, रेट लिमिट कितनी सेट करनी है, लाइक QPS क्या होने वाला है डिफरेंट सर्विसेज का. सो आज दिस बेसिक क्वेश्चंस जो आपको, जब आप आई थिंक गौरव सेन की वीडियो से ये सारी चीज़ें तो आपको पता चली जाएंगी कि बेसिक क्वेश्चंस क्या पूछने. एंड इफ़ यू हैव अ फेयर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ हाउ एंड टू एंड एप्लीकेशन वर्क्स, एंड टू एंड बाय मीन यूजर आपकी यूजर इंटरफेस से कैसे इंटरेक्ट कर रहा है एंड वो इंटरेक्शन आपके DBs में कैसे स्टोर हो रहा है, अगर आपको ये पूरा एंड टू एंड फ्लो पता है, यू विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व मोस्ट ऑफ द HLDs क्वेश्चन जो फ्रेशर से एक्सपेक्ट किए जाते हैं. डेफिनेटली इफ यू आर एन एक्सपीरियंस्ड एम्प्लॉय तो लाइक द लेवल ऑफ क्वेश्चन और the expectation increases a lot. But if you are a fresher, even if you know the basics, if you know the basic difference between different DBs and किस situation में कौन सा DB use करना चाहिए, when to go with monolith or microservice architecture, basic ये जो चीजें हैं, once you are aware of that, I think that would be enough for a fresher. So yeah, and resources you will find a lot on YouTube itself. The thing about system designing, you don't have a curated structure of कि ये चीजें होती है system design में, because every problem, every system has its own limitations or has its own use case. तो जो उसका डिजाइन होता है वो यूनिक होता है, right? You cannot implement the same design for two problems, and hence there is no curated you can say a syllabus for system design. And you will only be able to learn it when you implement it or when you have enough understanding of कि किस problem statement में कौन सा design लगा and क्यों लगा. So yeah, I would say जितना हो सके YouTube videos देखो system design के ऊपर and you will be able to answer most of the questions.
Okay, Chris, just hold on. And yeah, rather than raising your hand, it's better आप chat में लिख दो ना आपका question. We'll be asking that question. Okay. Okay, and then we have Manya का एक question है. Maybe she's asking what's the bare minimum like that we should be knowing to just start participating in hackathons. So maybe I think she is planning कि वो hackathons में जाए हमारे session देख के.
So the bare minimum is you don't know nothing about coding.
Right.
So I think I mentioned this experience, right, where there was this hackathon planned for school students and they were completely unaware about any programming language or what is even web development. They were unaware about that, and they implemented the complete thing from scratch in the hackathon itself. So if school students can do it, you can definitely do it, right? So, and one thing about hackathons is you will never be able to get the experience of a hackathon without participating in it. There will always be going to be a first hackathon where you will just go for the experience or just for the understanding how the hackathon will work, right? So take that first step, and who is expecting you to won your first hackathon or uh, get selected in your first interview, right? No one is going to expect that from anyone. Like even from me, if someone asks me that if I do mistakes or if I just won everything that I participate in, no, it doesn't work like that. So yeah, there's no prerequisite to participate in a hackathon. You can participate tomorrow itself if there is any.
All right. So the other question that has been asked is कि new joinees की CTC कितनी होती है LinkedIn के अंदर?
LinkedIn के अंदर, okay. So you can expect 20 के around base, and after that I think there's 45,000 USD of stocks. So 45,000 को convert कर लो, I don't know कितना होगा ये.
Okay, no problem. Also, another question by Tanish was that career in software engineering versus project management.
Project management is very different from software engineering. Project management is a non-technical role. So basically, their job is to when there's any project, there are a lot of teams who are involved in one particular project, right? There will be engineers, there will be UI UX designer, there will be data engineers, data scientists, then researchers, or if there are models involved in machine learning or AI team, there will be product managers, and a lot of teams will be there. So how to manage between all those teams, how to handle their deadlines, and how to make sure that every team is progressing on their action items, it's the role and responsibility of project manager. So basically they conduct meetings, they maintain the worksheet with proper action items on every team. They make sure that the sheet is like maintained with a proper status. So all this stuff is done by project manager. They are basically managing a project, how well we are delivering that project, if we are keeping up with the deadlines or not, if we are, let's say, if we are not able to meet the deadlines, that what was the reason. They retrospect what were the reason, how we can improve in the next project. So it's completely different from engineer. There you actually implement that particular feature or a user request, right? So if you want to go to a non-technical role, you can go to project management. Otherwise, yeah, product manager or engineer role is always there.
Right. Okay. Then we have Alex Kera. I already asked twice. Arre. So Alex's question was कि two projects which are more than enough for SDE role.
Enough ka definition, it depends on company. So let's say if the company is so you can see the hiring process of that company. For example, companies like Microsoft or LinkedIn or Google also, you can say, for freshers they don't expect a lot of um, good projects in the sense that they are real consumers of that particular product, or the project was like you have invested a lot of time in that project. So two good projects will be enough there. Actually they just want something to discuss in the interview, right? So let's say if you don't have any experience in the development, you don't have any internship in the development area, you don't have any corporate experience, then how we are going to judge your development skills? It is based on your projects. So now you can create 8 to 10 or whatever number of projects which are like copy paste from net, um, and you don't know anything about that particular project. You have just copy pasted or clone that repo and show it as your project. But now if you have done something really good or by yourself or by like from scratch, you can have a detailed discussion on that particular project. And even one project where you can have a good discussion with the interviewer will be enough to decide whether you are good with your development skills or not. So it's not about the number of projects but the quality of the projects. So I'm not saying Flamingo Bird and library management system, if you have chosen as two projects, you will be good to go in the interview. No, not at all. But you have done some really good projects जो आपने hackathon में present किए हैं, or if that particular project has won any hackathon or any position in the hackathon, then you are good to go for the interview.
All right. So Pushpendra has asked that what about Flutter? Is it a good option, or do I do DSA with Flutter for good company?
DSA with Flutter. See, DSA I will not at all recommend कि आप छोड़ो. There are opportunities definitely that you can get without DSA, but see, the number of opportunities that you get without DSA are still very limited. So why you should take a bet on that ठीक है DSA बिल्कुल छोड़ देते हैं and सिर्फ अपने डेवलपमेंट पे ध्यान लगाते हैं, when you already know that most of these companies are still following this traditional pattern. I think हम सबको जॉब चाहिए, right? So why you are losing the opportunities by yourself? DSA तो नहीं ही करना for whatever reason कि आपको अच्छा नहीं लगता या you don't feel it's worth it or whatever reason it is. But when you know कि companies आज भी पूछ रही हैं, so why you should take a bet on कि आज चलो नहीं करते DSA. You should do it, and DSA is very easy as compared to development. मतलब once you know the logic, once you know कि क्या क्या algorithms you have to learn, क्या क्या चीज़ें generally पूछी जाती है interviews में, you will be in a better position than many of the candidates. And it's like I just don't feel कि ये वाला conversation even उठता भी क्यों है when you know कि companies कर रही हैं. You cannot change it. It's not in your control. तो why you are losing upon opportunities just by saying कि मुझे DSA नहीं करना मतलब नहीं करना. मत करो. Loss candidates का होगा, companies का नहीं होगा. Do DSA and साथ में अपना डेवलपमेंट भी करते रहो. Both are required, and दोनों में से एक भी अगर नहीं हुआ, so you will lose opportunities and that will be bad for yourself. तो चीजें करनी है.
ओके, वो कह भी रहे कि it is very time consuming, so I just asked. तो अब से करो DSA.
Time consuming, see, time consuming होगा in the start, but what I'm saying is कि once you have invested let's say a month or so, उसके बाद आपको feel हो जाएगा कि now you are able to solve questions. उसके बाद you don't have to give the same time to DSA. Then you can just maybe participate in one competition maybe in 2 days or one competition in a week sometimes if you feel कि एक हफ्ते में एक करना भी enough है. So I think इतना टाइम तो दे सकते हो. So just make sure कि आपकी streak बनी रहे. You are able to solve questions easily and in a timely manner. And if that you are able to do it, you can focus completely on the development.
That's right. Okay, so I think we are done with the Q&A session. And thank you so much, ma'am. दी इतना टाइम देने के लिए आज. आई कैन सी कि आप भी थक गए हो काफी. एंड इनके DSA से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस देख के तो भाई साहब यू सीम टायर्ड आउट. एंड थैंक यू.
मतलब the thing is ये अभी you can say content creators or social media but it's like a buzz topic ना, DSA versus development versus competitive programming. So I get a lot of DMs on the same question and I repeatedly say the same thing कि लड़ाई तो होती ही रहेगी, बट सी कि कंपनीज क्या पूछ रही है. कंपनीज को चाहिए कि तुम्हें DSA भी आना चाहिए, तुम्हें डेवलपमेंट भी आना चाहिए. सो फोकस ऑन like doing both ना, लड़के तो कुछ होने ही नहीं वाला. हाँ, सिंगल हैंडेडली इफ यू आज खाली डीएस से अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलेंगी, खाली डेवलपमेंट से अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलेंगी, बट द नंबर ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज विल बी लेस एज कम्पेयर टू अगर आपको दोनों आते. फोकस ऑन बोथ एंड आई थिंक जब नंबर ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज बढ़ेंगी तो नंबर ऑफ चांसेस भी इंक्रीज होंगे, राइट? सो कर लो, हो जाएगा मैनेज.
That's right. And I think someone is saying, अच्छा पुष्पेंद्र कह रहे हैं कि फ्लटर के बारे में बताओ. चलो ये एक बार आप थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ में बता दो इसको.
फ्लटर सी कंपनीज में यूज होता है फ्लटर एंड इट्स अ गुड ऑप्शन. एंड न्यू फ्रेमवर्क्स, आई थिंक उसको कंफ्यूजन फ्लटर एंड किसी और फ्रेमवर्क के साथ था. आई मिस द क्वेश्चन.
हाँ, इट वाज डार्ट. फ्लटर एंड डार्ट का भी कोई पूछ रहा था पहले.
या सो न्यू फ्रेमवर्क्स आते रहेंगे. आई थिंक मैंने पहले भी बोला कि जैसे नाउ आई विल नॉट रिकमेंड PHP, राइट? सो सिमिलर चीज पाइथन में भी हो सकती है कि कल को फ्लटर आउटडेटेड हो जाए, बट द चांसेस आर क्वाइट लेस. एंड अगर वो होगा भी तो यू विल गेट टू नो अबाउट इट. ऐसा नहीं होता कि आज अगर कोई टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रेंडिंग में है तो नेक्स्ट ईयर ही वो आउटडेटेड हो जाएगी. ऐसा नहीं होगा. इट विल टेक टाइम. And obviously there are companies जो complete flutter based है अभी, right? So उनका tech stack इतना easily complete change नहीं होने वाला. It will take time, and time by mean 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So you have enough time to switch to a new tech stack if the in general market trend or company trends change हो जाते हैं, and if there is a new tech stack जो Flutter को replace कर सकता है, and if it is good, तो it will take time and you can learn in that time. But अभी के लिए Flutter is a really good option and काफी companies अभी Flutter में काम कर रही हैं.
Right. Okay. So I think
Anya.
she's like congratulating. वैसे congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So okay guys, आज के लिए we are done with the session and thank you so much Dee once again.
Thank you.
And yeah, one more important announcement everyone, कि we are also offering one-on-one mentoring. So if you like anyone is interested, तो आप लोग एक हम chat में form release करेंगे, उसको fill कर देना. And also one more thing कि we are also recruiting the children, like जो भी active है communities में, we are recruiting them to our Hack Unicorn community. ठीक है, तो जो भी है वो recruitment form भी fill कर दो. अगर आप interested हो then you can surely fill the form. Okay, so that's all for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And all the very best to everyone.
Thank you.